Welcome to A Drink of Wisdom with Jay Wise and Nathan Drinker. I'm your host, Cody Ward. Thanks for spending some of your time with us tonight. As a reminder to the listeners, besides being on all your favorite podcast platforms, A Drink of Wisdom is also on YouTube with the So segment available. Head on over, and if you like what you hear, we'd appreciate you hitting that subscribe button. What's going on, fellas?
What's up, y'all? It's the beard, it's the drink, and you know the wisdom's available over here. Let's do it.
Let's talk some sports, baby. Let's roll, baby.
Let's do that. In episode 63, Christian McCaffrey gets paid, and we continue our NFL draft coverage with the AFC and NFC South divisions. But first, we begin with some updates on the sports world's possible restart. Infectious disease expert and White House advisor Dr. Anthony Fauci recently outlined a plan for sports returning in an interview on Snapchat with Peter Hamby. The plan focused on stadiums without fans and keeping teams in hotels before the games. Additionally, Fauci highlighted the need for testing for the players as well as most workers and employees, which does present some logistical hurdles. So, Jay, is it good that we're already looking at early plans for a return, or does this sound more like a pipe dream?
I don't care if it is a pipe dream. This is what we need. Like, this is, but I told y'all several weeks ago, like, because, you remember President Trump came out a couple weeks ago. I was like, yeah, April 15th, I want us in church by Easter. Yeah. That obviously didn't happen. But, yeah. I mean, that type of optimism, I think it probably helped get us through a little bit to this point. And now, we pushing this stuff to the right, but I think that's okay. And like, this is particularly great because this is the top dude for, infectious diseases, all that stuff. Dr. Anthony Fauci, he's on the coronavirus task force briefings every night. He can't wait to get away from all the questions they keep asking him, but the media just dying to hear what he got to say. He's a highly respected individual, and this type of thing where he's saying, yes, there's gonna be some modifications. We're gonna have to do things differently. We're not just trying to jump back in to the way it was pre-virus, but he's giving us a path. He's giving these sports leagues a path to make this happen. So I think that in itself is very encouraging, and based on some things we've seen some polling out there that there's some. People are uncomfortable based on, the virus. People are uncomfortable going out to these sporting events with fans, and what some of the polling says. I think, we could be looking at an extended period where we see sports without fans until we get a vaccine and it's actually truly officially safe and people aren't risking, there's not a significant risk of getting, transmitting it because that's one thing you don't want to see. You don't want to open this thing back up fully and then have this thing explode again. And we're right back to square one, shutting everything back down. So we got to take great care in that regards. But this is absolutely encouraging. And I like what he had to say on a personal note. Hey, he wants to see the Washington Nationals play again. So he's got a vested interest in, even if it's just a little personal thing. But hey, yeah, I want to see some baseball. And so, to me, this is very encouraging. And based on what I've seen, we may have reached the peak in some of the harder hit areas. So maybe we're starting to see the backside of this, and maybe we aren't too far away from getting some sports again. Because it's been a month and 4 days since Rudy Gobert tested, which shut this thing down. So I don't know about y'all, but I'm starting to itch a little bit.
I most definitely agree with everything Jay says, even with the itch. I don't know if it's a good itch or a bad itch. I need to check that soap. But anyway, the way I look at it, like, hey, Dr. Fauci, hey, you couldn't up my spirits no more than you already did. Because one thing we got to understand is this. That's the president's right-hand man. So if the right-hand man is telling the president, here's how I look at it. I look at it A, B, and C, whether it's negative or positive, then that means the president going to look at it negative or positive. And that means he's more willing to, A, open the economy back up, B, allow sporting events. Listen, and I want to get to, like, the negative backlash I've been hearing. Oh, this bull crap. Why won't the fans be, if you allowed to open sports back up, that means the fans should be allowed. This virus shouldn't be that bad. They should have found the cure by now. Listen, that's all good to say that when you're sitting in the position we sitting in. What should happen? What could happen? What would happen? Knock it off. Just knock it off. Let the professionals do what the professionals do. At the end of the day, if you're practicing what they're telling us to do, which is the social distancing, it's working. Cases have went down, deaths have went down. One of the hardest hit places was New York. Their cases done went down. Calm down. Who cares? Okay, we're gonna watch basketball with no fans. Why is that a big deal? We're gonna watch football with no fans. Why is that a big deal? Unless you're finna tell me that these games are not gonna be televised, then now we're talking about a big deal, right? If you tell me, hey, we can't televise them, we're gonna play them, and we're gonna put them on tape delay, and then we're gonna send them out to the match. Then I'm like, nah, this is some bull. This is some straight bull. But outside of that, what is the problem? And listen, at the end of the day, right? Like, what would you rather? Would you rather a short-term fix for a long-term goal, or would you rather a long-term fix for a long-term goal? That's what people gotta understand. Let's say if the president said, "Hey, all right, let's test it out. No more crowds bigger than 100," and then we go to that thinking, and then people start back getting sick again. Then that looks even more dumb because now we just gonna start over from ground zero and do all this over and over and over. So just like Jay said, I don't got much to say because I thought Dr. Fauci, he hit the head on the nail. I hope with what he said, we could see sports here around maybe this same time next month or in June at the latest. So in the next 30 to 60 days. That's all I care about. I'm sorry, I might sound selfish, but all I care about is if we can get something so that way America hope can be built back up. Because that's what this is. I don't think people know that, but if sports was to come back, that is helping the hope of America. That's making the average American, the average sports watching American think that's hope. Like if they're playing sports again, eventually this virus is gonna go away. They're gonna start allowing fans to come back. Then the economy gonna open back up, so on and so forth. We try to get back to some remnants of normalcy, and that's what it is. So I appreciate Dr. Fauci. Salute to him. Hey, these guys are doing good work out there on the front lines. All these people that haven't been sent home, these doctors and nurses and everything that's out here getting sick and running the risk of getting sick. And let's just hope for the best. But hey, it was absolutely good news, and I appreciate it.
Yeah, this is it's kind of an unprecedented situation. We talk about having everything shut down like it is. There's no script or blueprint for this, and these policymakers have such a difficult task ahead of them because you do have to balance keeping people safe, staying inside and all that with the prospect of, okay, every day the economy's shut down, every day sports is shut down, and all this is just at a halt. There's second and third order effects continuing to domino down the line. And at some point, you have to think there's going to be a point where that scale tips the other way. And maybe we're going to cause more harm than good by not having anybody work, not having anything moving. And that policymakers having to balance that is incredibly difficult. And again, without a blueprint or a script to even look at, you're kind of making it up as you go. But, it is good to see that they're already starting to look forward to that. Pro sports is a big part of that kind of second, third order equation because these are multi-billion-dollar corporations. We're not talking about just the entertainment factor. It's not just, oh, well, I'm selfish and I want to see my sports back. No, there's a lot of people that depend on that for their livelihood. Mm-hmm. Again, multi-billion dollars. It's not just players. It's not just coaches. It's everyone involved in making all of what you see, as we call it, sports happen. So, yeah, it's a lot. There's a lot more to it than just that. And, it's good that we're already seeing these plans kind of coming in place. And I think one problem you're going to see going forward is the states versus federal government. Some states are going to be really open to this. We already see Florida, Arizona, Nevada. These are some states that are already like, hey, yeah, come on in. No fans, but hey, we're willing to work with this. And some states are like, nah, forget about it. Get out of here. So we might see really modified, where games are played and what stadiums are played in. But again, if there's no fans, your home field advantage thing kind of goes out the window. So, I mean, if there's less of a of a reason to play in your home stadium if ain't nobody there. And the other problem you're going to have is that logistics of it. You have so many other people that go into this: equipment managers, officials, field care, stadium employees, security, transportation, broadcast crews, technicians. I mean, it goes on and on. All these people have to be screened too. You would hope by the fall we would have the more testing and ability to test in place and be much easier, considering how fast things move up and how quick we get spun up on the technology. So hopefully by then we can test everyone that's a part of this. We can get the players there, get them into hotels, and get them to the stadium safely, and that we can get our sports back. Because if we're talking about it now, it gives me a lot of hope that by next season, like the NBA can start on time, college football can start on time, the NFL can start on time. Because if we go too much longer, then you're talking about delaying them, and then that's going to be a whole nother mess trying to eventually restart those seasons. So it's overall, yeah, I would agree. It's good to see, and I'm glad we're already moving in that direction.